Um, as you know, the past few days, um, we've been building a symptoms tracker app. Um, Here is the mock-up that the designer sent me. Um, and the past few days, we built out the UI for the check-in screen on the left and the today screen, which has today and the previous 2 days. We built out the UI, but when we uh, between runs of the app, nothing saves to the local storage. Today, um, we want to we want to fix that. Um, we want to store your information locally so that you have it between launches. Example, here's the simulator. We can add a check-in, add a symptom, dizzy, dizzy. We can check it off or uncheck it. It doesn't really stay in the database. Um, so let's get started. So in order to store stuff in GRDB, you can have a wrapper class. We can get function that that'll store stuff to the path. First, the main thing about a SQLite database is that it's a file saved on your phone's hard drive. Um, so I do have a another project where I set up the database. I'm going to be shamelessly copying from. Oh, there we go. Oh, thanks so much. So on my previous project, I had a local app database which took a database pool. Now, GRDB, you can have serial access to the database or pooled access, which allows concurrent access to the database. I've kind of always done the pool version. And in my singleton file, I keep a reference to the pool that I've opened. And on initialization, I set up a pool that's initialized by running the database migrations. And then I save a reference to it so that my screens can easily access the database. So I want to do something similar to that on this project as add a services file here. The database is just another service. You I had a final class services provider. I like calling it live. And we'll have a global variable to store this in. Next, we can have a init function on here that creates a local app database. We have our property declared. Cool. So that's kind of the basics. Next, we want to actually connect to a file and initialize it as a SQLite database. Did I do that? I had this initialize pool method. The old copy paste from my old project. So to get files on iOS, we get the default file manager. We ask it for documents directory because that's kind of where you write files to on iOS since everything is sandboxed. It's an array of URLs, but it's really just one. So we say .last, and we know it's there. Force unwrap it. That's fine. And then we say the name of the database, local app database.SQLite. That's fine. Then we create a GRDB configuration. With a few small configuration things. This will rethrow error here. Finish installation by saying self.pool. What else did I? Oh, right, migrate the data. So we can put our migrations in a separate file. We can put them in a separate function. We can just do them right here since we don't have anything right now. Yeah, I guess we'll do them here and then clean up later. Our migrator is a database migrator. Cool. Great, so then we can add some migrations. So I guess what I'm thinking about now is I want to design the database first. Where's their UI work I want to do, see if that helps drive the the database design. Um, in my philosophy, I do like to have UI drive the design of everything else as much as possible because that's what's closest to the user, and software is supposed to serve people, not the other way around. So let's uncomment this method because this is what's going. If we do that, we need to define symptom. Quite sure I'm ready to do that yet. Yeah, so let's take a look at the check-in screen where we add symptoms and see if there's anything there that will drive our design. Zoom preview. Build. Oh, now it does. Okay, so when we do the add symptom, we also want to save it to the database. In like, we had a database on our class, we would say something like database.save new symptom is approximately what we would want to do. This symptom is a UI model, so we are going to want to create a database model to actually save to the database. We want some kind of translation layer. Should that go to the database? Prod doesn't want to go in the screen either. Maybe some sort of like presenter for class. I guess we could call it database interactor, perhaps. And go that route and see how it turns out. So, define it. Interactor. And what we want to do is save things, this view's perception of the world, translate it to the database's perception. This is a this will have a reference to the database pool. And then we could call something the symptom sort of like create the symptom in the database's language, like symptom record, and save that. So that the view doesn't have to worry about the implementation details of the database. It's the purpose of this interactor. Yes, the compiler is telling us that we need an initialization method. Takes an app. Isn't defined yet, so we can pump that out for now. And this needs a value. So in our wireframe, we can give it a value. Are there? Say in-screen database interactor database, and then we can refer to our singleton. Services.app. Lowercase for a singleton does seem a little weird. Now it's the screen has no member database, right? Now it's the database interactor. Right, so in the preview, you probably don't want a real database interactor there. You probably want a fake one. So in order to have two different implementations of this database interactor, it looks like we'll need a protocol. We can define the protocol in this class. Call it input. And then now that we have a protocol that abstracts away the interactor itself, and say that this is the interactor input here, which means in our preview provider, we can have a fake one. It doesn't do anything at all for the sake of previewing. So we can define that here. You can do it inside of a static static initializer. Static initializer. Um, fake database. And then new one of those. Yes, add the stubs. Nothing. Out of the way. And there we can say use our fake database in our app. Maybe we should call it fake. Nice. Now are we ready to do the actual saving? Not quite. We need to make the symptom record. So we'll use a struct for the symptom record. Identifiable. It will be a few things that I know from it'll be fetchable record, a listable record, and there's one other to be old project. Needs to be a table record. Oh, okay. Then with GRDB, we state the table name in a static var. Make it a constant though. Maybe symptom has ID, of course. Has name. It's just a string. Then yeah, I guess we can do created at. And I suppose updated at. I don't know if we're going to be updating these though. Let's leave that off for now. Not conform to a quotable record. Right. GRDB does take advantage of quotable. So we need a name of column expressions. Case ID, case name, case at, and in the database, use score. Should I call this columns or just rely on codable? If we rely on codable, Um, we don't have a problem. Oh, so we don't have a database call yet. I'm not sure if this app is going to use a server. I'm not sure if this app is going to use a server at all because it's people's private health stuff. Or that on a server is it's just a lot of problems. And we do want to prioritize being able to use the app offline in the subway, on an airplane, in a cave. The internet goes down, we'll be able to keep track of stuff and have it sync to a later time if we do add sync to the app. Okay, are we ready for this yet? Name is just a new symptom name. E is E B just right now. Oh, right. We need to uncomment this. Oh, it's asking me to implement these methods because I haven't declared that we are codable yet. If we do that, I believe we should compile. Nice. Another problem? Nice. So now, in order to actually save, we get the pool, start a write. That gives us a reference to a transaction. And say is it? Oh, it's symptom.save and then db. db comes. Oh, this should actually. Maybe even throws. Errors thrown here are not. I think we did. I think the compiler. Yeah. So we do want async. Oh, protocol method. And then because this is async, a task lets us escape to task lets us do structured concurrency. That's what I meant. Now, if we try to add a symptom, I was expecting an error. Put a breakpoint here and see if we're hitting that or not. We are there. I don't see the error I'm expecting because we haven't set up any tables yet. How do I know if a task has failed or not? Yeah, we don't return anything. See, I guess we could Google a little bit. Safari. Oh, I guess we could just put do catch around it. Okay, so that's the breakpoint on save. There we go. No such table symptoms. Okay. Well, let's create this table. Creation stuff and register migration. We call this. I'm going to call this symptom. Remember what we call this. I do like singular names for tables. I'm going to check my old project. Yes, it's a ID. Have a name. Which is a string. Create. Which is a text. This is also actually, yeah, GRDB saves dates as ISO strings. Symptom today. There it is. No error. I think I need to find some music. So I'm going to stop the stream and start it again once I have some music going.